not available to talk to me today, please let me know in the chat room. Please type in the chat, okay? Let's do a test before we start the class. We're live on Facebook, but don't worry about that. Let's do a test. Kavya, can you say hello? Kavya, are you there? Kavya.
Hello.
Fantastic. Okay. So guys, when I nominate today, when I say people's names, just put your microphone on just like Kavya did, and we'll be interacting. This is a live interactive class and we're focusing on reading part A. So let's get started. Here we go. Okay, so this is reading class. We do it every day. We're going to focus on part A today, and we're going to talk about analyzing the text. But we're going to begin, guys, by reviewing the vocabulary from yesterday. Does anyone remember the vocab from yesterday?
Yes.
What words, Hussein? What
the beginning from what? Objective, subjective.
Yeah, brilliant. Objective, subjective, and we had anecdote as well.
Anecdote, yeah, that was well the same.
Anyone else, guys? You remember the vocab from yesterday?
Take place.
Take place. Good.
Documented.
Periodic.
Good. So this is
Derivative.
Brilliant. Now, I always say the same thing, but it's very important. If you're serious about OET reading, if you're a serious student, you have to take vocabulary seriously. You have to study it every day, okay? This is the vocabulary I want you guys to learn this week, and we're going to just quickly review it. We learned it yesterday, but we'll review it again today. So, very quick game. I am going to describe one of these words here, and all you guys need to do is just shout out the word I am talking about, okay? So first word, we often say this about children because they are not very worldly wise.
Nice.
Okay, good, nice. Okay, this one means to to finish a procedure.
Turn around.
Something. Yeah. So here you can see, guys, it says we need a rapid turnaround. Okay, what they're saying is a rapid completion of injections. Right? Sorry, we just had a bit of an overlap there. Okay, next one. This is things that are important to us, usually phones, computers.
Valuables.
Okay. If I tell you a story, and it's just my experience, what is that? Anecdote. This means a personal story. Okay, personal story. Should we base science and medicine on personal stories?
No.
Right, it's the opposite of
subjective.
Yeah, science and medicine should be objective. And can I ask you guys just to keep your microphones off after you've given the answer, okay? So objective means scientific, really, or based on evidence. Yeah, okay, microphones off, please. Okay, this word means to separate things.
Segregate.
And I talked to you yesterday in more detail about some of the different meanings of this word. It also has a political meaning. Okay, this word means to write down.
Documented.
And also recorded can mean to write down as well. Okay, this word means to occur or to happen.
Take place.
Now, Norzad, I notice you're here. Can you put your microphone on, Norzad?
Yes.
Can you pronounce that word? How do we say that word?
Derivative.
Hey, that's not bad. Guys, derivative. Okay, derivative. What does it mean, derivative?
It
Comes
from something or to extract something. It is adjective here, but
you all know the verb, don't you? Many of you.
I know the verb.
What is the verb, guys? Derivative.
Derive.
So I derived it from. There's the verb. I derived it from. I took it from. It came from. Okay, so that's just a quick review of the vocabulary. Please, every day review this vocab, and I'll be reviewing every day with you these words. On next Monday, I'll test you guys on this vocab. Okay. All right, so the plan today is not vocabulary. The plan today is to look at Part A reading. Okay, Part A reading. And we're going to do three things as usual in this class. We're going to look at the overall strategy. Someone's trying to get into my class. The overall strategy or technique. We'll review that. You can see this on the video course, but we'll just review it. We're then going to talk about main idea, and we're going to talk about keywords. Okay. Last thing we're going to talk about today is paragraph function or text function. Okay. All of these ideas here, all of these things are basically analyzing the text. And remember, today we're studying analyzing texts. Okay, so this is the structure of the class. This is the plan today. I'll just remind you guys again, if I say your name, just be ready, please, to put on your microphone and talk to me. All right. So let's start with Wendy. If you're available, Wendy, it would be great to speak to you. Normally she's quite good. Or if Wendy's not available.
Hello.
Wendy. So Wendy, we're going to review the overall technique. I'll help you. Don't worry. Okay. So this, guys, what do we see here? Wendy, what is this? What is this? What does this mean? A, B, C, D. Can anyone help her? This is the
text.
These are the texts, right? These are the texts in the exam. Okay. And how many texts do we normally have, guys? All of you?
Four.
There's always four. I've never seen any more or less. Okay. So Wendy, can you come back, please? This is the texts, Wendy. Yes. And what's this then? What does that represent?
So question.
Yeah, this is the question paper. Okay. So I'm going to review the overall technique with you guys. Wendy, how many steps are there in my technique for this, or in the SET technique?
Technique.
How many? Can anyone help her? How many steps are there in the technique for this, for reading Part A? Anyone?
Main idea, keyword, function. 3.
2 technique.
There's only 2. Yeah, someone said 2. So there's step 1. That is the texts step. Analyze text. Yeah, exactly. And step 2 is the question paper step. Just the questions. Okay, very simple. Now, today we're only really going to be focusing on analyzing texts. Tomorrow we'll look at step 2. What do we mean by analyze? What does that word mean? Can I speak to Alexandra or Camilla, Muslime? What does that word analyze mean?
To scan and to know the main idea.
To know, yeah. In some sense, know, yeah. We're not scanning. We're skimming, though. We are skimming. Okay, here's a more specific question. Fiona or Raisa, could you say hello? Or Mohammed? A more specific question now. Could you say hello? Mohammed, normally quite good.
Yes, hello, sir.
When I say analyze the text, how much time should we spend doing this?
For each text, sir? Well, maybe 30 seconds.
Let's say in general.
2 minutes.
Or 4.
In general, 2 minutes or 3 minutes will be good.
Let's say, I mean, sometimes you can do it quicker than that. Let's say 2 minutes, though, approximately. It could be 90 seconds as well, right? 1 minute 30, but in general, 2 mins. Okay.
It is also very difficult to
go on. It is
all the text within 2 minutes.
It is, but I'm going to try and make that a bit easier for you today. Okay. It is definitely difficult. I do agree. How much time then, Mashal, Maria, Monica, how much time are we going to have for step 2 then? How much time remaining? 2 minutes for step 1. How much time for step 2? Mashal, Maria, Monica, Petruta.
Hello.
Okay. Yeah, how much time here?
That's 4 minutes. 13. 14.
Well, guys, how much time in total? How long is this test? How many minutes?
15 minutes.
13 minutes.
10 minutes.
And we use 2. We use 2 minutes here.
13 minutes. 13 minutes.
13 minutes. Okay. There's only 2 steps, right? So you're going to use the remainder of your time answering the questions. Okay, but I want to focus today on step 1. Can I ask you guys to keep your microphones off, if that's okay? Because everyone can hear you if you don't, and it can be very distracting in the test. So we're going to focus on this, and we're going to look at today at analyzing texts. So can I speak to, let's try Kavya or Ling, or if we could speak to Helen.
Hi, Paul. Hi, Alan. Sorry.
So, Helen. So, when I'm analyzing text, what am I trying to do in general?
Differentiate the text.
Hey, brilliant. Okay. So, when you say differentiate the text, what does that mean? Can you tell us?
To can separate them. A like text A about medication, B about treatment.
Yeah. That's a great example. So, for example, right, we know that this one is medication, we know that this one is treatment, and we know that this one is
diagnosis.
Diagnosis. Help her out. This is brilliant. And also D might be, for example, symptoms. Okay. So we're trying to see the differences between the texts. Why is it important to see the differences? Daniela, could you say hello? Or Diana? Why do I need the differences?
To know about where we have to look for the information.
Yeah, right. If I know that medication is A and diagnosis is C, guys, right? I do not need to read both texts for this question. Diana, could you say hello, Diana, or Dorothy?
Yes, Paul. Alan, sorry.
What should be prescribed to a patient under 16? What text should I look here?
A, medication.
Yeah, right. So do I need to read all 4 of the texts now, guys?
No.
No, right, because I differentiated the texts at the start. Okay, this is obviously prescribed. It's telling me that this is a question about medication. So I'm going to go to the medication text. Okay, so we're trying to see the differences between texts, not what is the same. Okay. Now, these are all the main way to do it. The most important way to separate and see differences, guys, is with the, what is this medication diagnosis? That's an example of the main idea, right? So the most important way to differentiate is main idea, okay? Is there any other way that I can differentiate texts?
Function.
We can do function. We'll talk about that today. Any other way?
Flowchart.
Keywords. Okay. So these are the 3. I've been teaching OET a long time now. These are the 3 ways that I can think of to separate the text, differentiate the texts. Okay. Main idea, keywords, and function. In this class, we'll talk about all 3 of these. All right. Now, main idea is most important, so we'll talk about this, but we're also going to talk about keywords and function. Okay. Tomorrow, we're going to look at step 2 tomorrow, and I'll do a mock test with you guys. I'll show you how to answer questions. All right. But today it's really only about this and really only about this. Okay. Does anyone have any questions before we go into more detail?
Sorry, Alan, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, please.
Regarding analyzing the text, so I realize that when I'm doing the text, I'm not only analyzing, but I'm reading all of it, like fastly, but I'm reading all the texts. And I don't know if it is correct. I mean, I want to do this one, but each time when I'm seeing the paragraphs, I'm reading all of them. And in a way, I'm making it on time.
And well, if you can do that, that's amazing. If you can do it on time, usually most people cannot. Okay.
But do you think it's too risky to do it for you?
Possibly, yes. I would focus on main idea, and I'll show you how to get the main idea.
Okay, thank you.
Now, guys, another thing is, right, someone said, was it Mohammed? You said, in the past, I've said this as well. It's my fault. In the past, I've said 30 seconds on each text. Is that right, though? Think about it. Is it always the same level of difficulty?
No.
No. Sometimes it's very easy to get the main idea. It's very easy. So I don't recommend 30 seconds for each text, just 2 minutes max. Okay. And remember, we're trying to differentiate the text and we're looking for main idea, keywords, and function. Let's look at keywords. Let's start with keywords. Okay. I'm going to show you guys an example. All right. So can everyone see this here?
Yes.
Yes.
So imagine you're in the exam and you see this text and you're going to choose keywords. Okay. When I say keyword, I mean you're going to underline how many words? How many words will we underline, guys?
4 or 5.
4 to 5.
Words only. Okay. And it's not the main idea we're looking for here. Can I just be clear about that? It's not the main idea. Okay. Instead, we're looking for specific types of words. All right. What kind of words is a good keyword in step 1? Anyone? What am I looking for?
Numbers, brackets.
Stop there. Stop there. Numbers. Does anyone see any numbers in this text here?
5.
Right.
5 doses.
And in this test, that is actually one of the answers. Okay. So keywords can be very useful because with keywords, we're almost trying to predict what they will ask about. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And we're going to underline only 4 or 5 words. So we can underline numbers. What else can we underline, guys?
Brackets.
Brackets. Now, Hussein, do you see any brackets here that I can?
Yes. Opposite limb to vaccine. Opposite limb to
so I can underline that.
And
also HTIG.
HTIG, yeah.
Yeah. And this is another good example, guys. Why is that a good keyword?
That's
Capital number.
capital, no, abbreviation.
Capitals, yeah. Capitals. So we're going to underline 4 or 5 words: numbers, brackets, capitals. What else? What else are we looking to?
Notes.
We're not underlining footnotes, but it's very important to look at them. What are we underlining? Underline jargon. So any medical terminology, maybe. What else, guys?
Subtitles.
Subtitles. Well, no, that's not subtitles. That's going to give me the main idea.
Main idea. So important point is.
This is keywords now, not main idea.
Okay.
What about medications? Do we think we should underline those?
Yep.
Yes. And if
It's only one in the text. Side effects.
So not side effects so much, okay, but any medications. But anything that stands out to you, you can underline. What does Akhtar? Could you put your microphone on? What does stand out mean? Saleh, Sepid, Sidra as well. What does stands out mean?
Strange.
Anything
Important. Dominant.
Dominant, says Norzad. Guys, does this pen stand out?
No.
Not really. Which one stands out? Which one standing out?
Yeah.
Important, yes.
So anything like that you see in a text, you're going to underline it, but only 4 or 5 things. Okay. Now, remember, we're doing this because we're trying to differentiate the texts. So, for example, maybe I see here 50% in this one. Okay. And I underline this. This is my key word. That makes sense, everyone. It helps me to differentiate the text a bit, right? Because 50% is here, but it's not here. Does that make sense, guys? All right, so we're just underlining keywords. Okay, now someone said footnotes. Who said footnotes?
I say it. Helen.
Who's that?
120.
Helen.
Helen, why are footnotes important?
There is always a question hidden there.
Very
Answer,
often
yeah.
we're going to see questions hidden in the footnotes. Do we have footnotes here, guys? Does everyone see the footnotes?
The notes.
Yes,
Notes.
That's a footnote, okay?
And sometimes they have a star in front of.
Yeah, exactly, or a number. So always focus keywords on footnotes. Do we always have them?
No.
No.
If they are present, okay? So if they are present. Here we have some footnotes. Is there anything I need to underline here, guys? Do you see any brackets, any medication?
5 doses.
Number 5 doses.
We have 5 doses again. Anything else?
Immunosuppressed patients.
Tetanus spores, medical jargon, right? Tetanus prone, maybe immunized, immunosuppressed. Yeah, right. So this is an example of medical jargon, right? Medical terms. Okay. So look, it's not very difficult, but is this clear for everyone? We're going to underline 4 or 5 words, and we're looking for numbers, brackets, capitals, medical terminology, medications, or anything that stands out. Is that clear for you guys? Does anyone have any questions here? It's pretty simple, isn't it? Right? You're just guessing. You're guessing on words that maybe they will ask about. Okay. Now, keywords, I think, is very easy, really. Very easy. But main idea, let's look at main idea now. Okay. This one is a bit more tricky. Okay. So let me speak to someone here who could help me. Maybe Mevlut, can you say hello?
Hello.
How do I find the main idea? How do I do that?
So we have some methods to find the main idea.
Yeah. How many? How many? You have a big clue already. There are how many ways?
4.
I can only think of 4. This is only possible. I cannot think of any other way. Okay. And what are they? Mevlut, give me an example.
So subheadings.
Subheadings. Okay, stop there. Okay, subheadings.
Okay.
Guys, subheadings. It's the easiest way to find the main idea. All right. And how many texts will have, what do I mean by subheading? Anyone tell me, what is a subheading?
Like a topic.
Does anyone need an example?
Title or subtitle?
Subtitle.
Title, right? Shall I show you an example? It's so simple, but I want to make sure that everyone's clear here. Let me show you. Okay?
The first one it was.
Where's the subheading here, guys? Which one has subheading? A or B?
Text B.
Text B.
So if I see that, what is the main idea of this text now?
It's all about tetanus.
Tetanus risk.
Or risk about tetanus.
No, now. So someone says it's all about tetanus. You said that, Hussein. Is that useful for me, guys? Tetanus?
No, all texts are about tetanus.
All the texts are about that. So I don't actually want tetanus in the subheading. What do I want, guys?
Risk.
Tetanus risk.
So that is the main idea of that text. Is there any more subheadings, Dr. Saki? Because I think actually possibly there's another subheading.
Yes, tetanus prone wounds. Wounds is also.
Again, we don't need tetanus, do we? So it would be prone.
Prone.
What does prone mean, guys? Does anyone know what prone means?
Vulnerable.
Risk.
It's very similar to risk.
Yeah.
Okay. So the main idea of this test is risk and wound. Okay. Headings, subheadings. Don't tell me it's difficult to find the main idea when there is a subheading. It's easy. Okay. But what do we do? The problem is, what do we do when we do not have a subheading? You know what I mean? Yeah.
First sentence.
Look at this one.
Thematic words.
Yeah, there's many different ways, but I can almost guarantee that at least one of the texts will not have a subheading. Possibly 2. Has anyone here done an exam with 2 texts, no subheading? I'm surely some of you have done one. Usually there's only 1, really, okay? But you might get 2 of the texts like this with no subheading. In that case, you need different ways to find the main idea. And these guys know what they are. Go on, shout out, guys. What are the main ways? First, someone said first
sentence.
Line of para. Okay, what else?
The overall structure of
thematic words.
Thematic words. Okay. Often people don't know what I mean by thematic. So Zainab, could you tell us what does thematic, please, words mean? Example?
Actually, I'm not sure. Maybe we can say dog, cat, and fish. It's all animals.
Exactly, right? That's it. That's all we mean, Zainab. So Zainab, if I say to you, hypertension, diabetes, cancer, what's the theme? What's the theme?
Condition.
Is that clear, guys?
Disease.
Thematic word is just like, I'll give you another, everyone, tell me what the thematic is. Tell me what the theme is for this, okay? Headache, rash, cough, sore throat.
Symptoms.
Okay? So this is words that all have a similar theme, okay? Simple. These are the 4 ways that you guys have to get your main idea, and you're going to use this one usually, very quick. It's the best one. But if you don't have that one, you're going to use these ones here. Is that clear, guys?
Yes.
So a very simple example. I haven't used this for a while. I know some of you have seen this maybe in my video course, but let's all do it together very quickly. What is the main idea here, guys? Main idea is?
Why I like cheese.
Like cheese.
And how did we get the main idea here?
Subheading.
Subheading.
Main idea of this one, guys, is?
Manchester
And
United.
how do you get the main idea here? Suthan, how did you get the main idea?
It is about, they talk about premiership, about goals.
Someone said first sentence. Who said first sentence?
I said.
If I read the first sentence here, how do you know it's not about the Premiership? You don't. Okay? That's not how to get the main idea here, guys.
Repeated words.
Manchester
Repeated
United.
words, right? How many times is Manchester United repeated here?
4 times.
4 times.
1, 2, and then we have another one. United, I guess, is like almost repeated, and then we have Manchester United. Okay, so repeated words. Okay, what about this one? Hussein, what's the main idea of that, please?
The numbers here.
What's the main idea of this?
The main idea.
It's not Manchester United, right? Just Hussein, please, guys. No one else. Just Hussein.
About the eggs, it is the.
Yeah. Okay. How did you get the main idea here?
Because about from the first sentence.
First sentence. Okay. It's very easy, guys, isn't it? I'm giving you very simple examples so you can all just understand. Very soon, we're going to look at some real texts, okay? The last one, what's remaining, guys? What have we not done?
Symptom.
Thematic, okay? And what is the main idea of this? The main idea is?
Symptoms.
Okay. How do you know it's symptoms?
Because there's some headache, wheezing,
loads of symptoms. It's easy, isn't it? When I show you like this, it's very easy, okay? So these are the main ways that we use to get the main idea when we do not have a subheading. If you have the subheading, just use that. Okay, you do not need to do anything else. Is this clear, guys?
Yes.
Okay, so shall I do a quick test? I'll do a quick test on you guys, all right? Let's have a look at this here. All right, in fact, no, we'll look at that later. I'm going to show you something here. And I'm going to say